Hello, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. I am Abir bin Rahman Bhuiya from School of Computing, University, Technologi, Malaysia, UTM. Today I am here for my PSM1 presentation, which is Project Sarajan Muda 1, and this also known as final year project. So my project was research-based project and I was supervised by Dr. Siti Hajar Uthman. So this is the table of contents of today's presentation. I will go through one by one. So first of all, I'd like to talk about the research topic. My research topic is Convolutional Neural Network CNN approach for monitoring advanced constant cybersecurity threat detection in local network systems. So the problem background is, as we know, protecting data and its connection has become a difficult issue nowadays. Individuals and organizations may face serious problems if there is any corruption or lack of security during transmission of data. Furthermore, the complexity of the network system and the variety of attack techniques has enhanced the complexity of this kind of process. So I come out with this research topic to solve this type of issues. So my research question was how CNN is implemented in cybersecurity of local network system, how to predict, detect, and develop the cybersecurity threat by using CNN in local area system, and how to test and validate the performance of the CNN to detect threats in local network system. So my research objectives was to investigate the capability of the CNN approach in monitoring advanced constant cybersecurity threat detection in local network system, to develop a framework along with the methods which uses the CNN to predict advanced constant cybersecurity threat detection in local network system, to test the methods by using cascaded CNN Python backpropagation algorithm techniques. Okay, so this is the research scope. As we can see, a CNN network architecture for collecting and monitoring data in local network to identify cyber threats, and an appropriate guiding system analysis for CNN to detect threats, such as allowing the system to decide which system to interact with locally using the standard MNIST dataset. And at the local network flow layer, a strategy for detecting evidence of local network cyber attacks in which CNN focus on specific domains within the network, such as detect one specific attack. Okay, so for any research, first we need to start with the literature review. So in my literature review, I added almost 84 references, and from those references I create this table which shows the comparison of approaches from the literature. And I also added a few more tables in my thesis, and I was not able to add those tables here because it was really huge. So I just added some of the authors and their data types and what data they use, their modeling, coverage, manipulability, and deployability issues. And I use here the reference which is also given in the end of this slide for the reference. So here we can see Al-Jarrah is using raw packet flows, and here Liu et al. Using log files, here Rudrapal using keystroke data, and then we can see the public, this all are public data sets, this is not public data set, and this again public data set, and there are some have user modeling, some don't have, some coverage is high, some is low, and some manipulability is high and some are low, and the deployability, most of them is high and only one is low. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about my research framework. So I came up with this research framework, which is I start and I identify the problem and case study, and I did the literature review and identify appropriate method and algorithm and apply the appropriate method and algorithm and evaluate the performance, and finally implementation, analysis, and discussion, and then I end my literature review. And this is the research phases I followed one by one, and this is the brief description of my phases. So first I start my problem background and proposed solution, and review recent studies, and there are review techniques which I reviewed: fuzzy logic, agent-based system, evolutionary algorithm, artificial immune system, swarm intelligence, naive bias, support vector machine. And then I compared identified all the techniques in this literature review, and then I investigate the capability of CNN in monitoring cybersecurity threat detection in local network system. And then in my problem definition, I identify gaps, define research scope and objectives, and in my experimental and design, I try to obtain data sets and then experiment using RStudio, CNN, IBM SPSS, Python, backpropagation algorithm, and all that. And then the result and evaluation will be conduct in PSM2, and then this achievement and contribution of future work I listed the results, and then I document the report, and my thesis is on the way in completion. And this is how I divide my research phases. And this is the experimental tools that I am going to use. There is Canine Analytics platform that is used for data analysis and reporting, RStudio used for data analysis and research, IBM SPSS statistic used for data processing as an analytic tool, CNN software used for research and algorithm, Python programming used for research and algorithm, also backpropagation algorithm, and Google Doc I used to make the whole report. And then experimental tools, the minimum specification is here, and I am using this specification for the hardware specification. And this is the parameter and testing method. In Python, as we know, accuracy here, TN refers to true negative, TP true positive, FN false negative, FP false positive. So there are some formulas that I try to follow and it helped me during my research. And then this is cascaded RCNN formula, and then this is for backpropagation algorithm. Here we detect attack detection rate, ADR, and false alarm rate, and recall rate and precision rate. Here also we can see accuracy, precision, recall, and here also accuracy, precision, and recall. So this is the algorithms. This is the Python algorithm, decision tree algorithm that I mentioned in my thesis. And this is the continuation of this algorithm, and this is Python algorithm on GPU, and this is the backpropagation algorithm, and this is the cascaded RTCNN algorithm that I am going to use in my research. So the research achievement. The issue with contemporary threats to a specific network system has been discovered on the basis of the literature review. The idea of the CNN technique and its associated Python, cascaded RCNN, and backpropagation algorithm have seen extensive study. These three algorithms have been determined to be one of the best for local network system detection system regarding the research. In addition, the algorithms have been contrasted in terms of the work core principle and effectiveness and stability. In essence, the first and few parts of the second goals, which were to explore the CNN approaches idea and create a framework of the study procedure, have been met already. And this is the suggesting planning for PSM2. This section will discuss the researchers' future activities. The main goal of this study are almost being pursued, and each and every part is performing well in the future, as well as the algorithms are ready. So the testing and result analysis part will be done later on chapter 6 on PSM2, where if needed, then more advanced categorization based on real-time performance will be used to diagnose malware and non-malware in real-time runtime. There might be a system that detects malware and assists machine learning in classifying it based on real-world data. After that, we will look at unsupervised machine learning and try out several malware classifiers. Also, may learn more about the most recent technique of malware intrusion that might affect the local network system and raise user awareness about cybercrime that could originate from their network. The second and third objectives of the project, of this research project, are what we want to achieve in this section. To assess the effectiveness of the three chosen methods, experiment will be carried out in PSM2. The experiment result will be evaluated and a judgment call will be taken. The second goal, which is examine and compare the CNN technique, will be fully accomplished after the testing is over. The final goal of the research will ultimately be accomplished when analysis is done based on the findings. Based on the chosen parameters and performance measures, the algorithms will be reviewed. So this is the references that I used in the comparison. Here I can see there's the list of, I listed out 75, 76, all the numbers that I put there, I listed out here. So this is the references continuation slide. And thank you so much for watching my video.